afternoon, evening, whenever you're gonna watch this. I'm doing another spontaneous live with you guys. I'm back in my craft room. I took a day off yesterday. Let me get my things all set up here. Hopefully some of you guys can jump on with me if you're interested. So I'm finishing up my journals for the craft fair. I wanted to show y'all because like in my last session we were doing covers, so we were making these covers together. I've hand stitched already some of my inserts in, but I'm also going to be showing y'all how I assemble my pages and such. So I have some of the covers that we made with the blank or just the pages ready to be folded. I did already cut them, but I think maybe I have one or two where I can show you how to cut them. So I'm going to be working on all kinds of stuff today. I'm going to be finishing out, I'm going to show y'all how I finish out a cover. So I'll be adding some sari silk to these ones that are already stitched. I always like to add fabric ruffles on my covers, and then I'll add like a focal point too. So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a little bit of everything, trying to get these ready for next weekend. I have a little bit of a thrift store haul from yesterday. So yesterday I took the day off. I did not come into my craft room. And, oh good, I will have some that I can show you how I cut these. And I went and traveled to meet some family halfway to pick my mom up and bring her back home. Hi, oh, hi Jamie and Linda and Denise and Mary. Oh, hi ladies. I'm so glad y'all are here. So yeah, I'm just gonna be doing it all, hopefully. I prepped for this. I stitched up my ruffles. I cut out my sari silk, so I got a little bit ready so I don't have to be away from the camera so much as when I was doing it really spontaneous the other day. So this is a little bit of my thrift store haul. So I got a couple of other, oh yeah, just two more books, but they're not right beside me. This one, I thought like this was a jackpot. Absolutely loved this book. I got it for 50 cents. And look at this. Every single page is magic. So I work in the collectibles industry, so I can't just grab something like this and immediately tear it apart. So this would be like my first thing if you're just getting into junk journals and you're like me and you go to thrift stores or get your materials from different places. This one I don't know, I just couldn't cut into it until I looked it up, its value. I got this for 50 cents and it's currently selling like for 40 to 60. So that makes me not want to cut it up and put it in my junk journals. And it's just really, really great. So I don't know. I'm not going to cut into this. I'm making boho journals, and I was going to put this in there because I thought it would just be so fun and light and a fun thing to add to boho, but I can't cut into this one yet. But I got this one yesterday. And let's see. I got this one, which I really like. I don't think I'm going to use this one in junk journals either. I think I'm going to use this in card making. So it's What the Dormouse Said. It's from 1999, so it's not terribly old. But okay, so it has all these topics: faith and courage, defiance, imagination and adventure, animals, blah, 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 nature, sadness, so many things, right? So many topics. And then what I liked about it was it has like these just little snippets that I thought would be great to add to, like, you know, add a quote to the front of a card instead of a sentiment, or add it to the inside of a card. So I really liked just the size of these. I thought they were just so great and would make really great additions to cards. So, and there's plenty of it. This was a quarter. So I actually got that for card making. What the Dormouse said. All right. I got Cleopatra for 10 cents. I am going to use this for my my boho journals this morning. So since I didn't want to cut into the other one, I thought some Cleopatra might be fantastic. I've mentioned this many times before, but I'm really careful about the content of pages that I put into my junk journals. I want to make sure that there's no like offensive content, and this is geared for young readers. So I know that it should be, you know, it should be good. I will definitely be keeping this cover too. This was an Amazon bargain book. Okay. Well, it's from Scholastic. So I always like to see that because then I know it's made for, you know, school children and it'll be non-offensive to others. So I'm definitely going to use this today. What I need to do is get it together. Oh, cool. You're making an altered book. I haven't done that, but I think it's really neat. I just haven't done it yet. I'm sure I will. You'd have to read the Cleopatra book first. Yeah, I know, right? I just know I don't have time. Oh my gosh. I think my daughter would really like to read it. And it even has Cece written on the inside of the cover, and that's her nickname. So I kind of thought, oh, maybe I should let her read it. And then I was like, okay, look, it costs 10 cents. You need it for your junk journals. You got to get them done. So just keep moving. So this is how I really just like to cut off the border. So I can't find a printer that has eco tanks like I like and does borderless printing. So a lot of times I just hand cut it and I don't worry at all about, you know, straight lines, because like in currency, to me it's always fascinating when you look at old currency like from the 1800s and older, when they had to hand cut it off the sheets that they printed it, and it would have like wonky edges and such. So I actually, this is my favorite way to go ahead and cut off the borders of my papers. Aren't these beautiful pages? Yeah, you know, Mary, I need to start taking a book to bed with me for my sleepless nights. But actually here lately, I've had no problem falling asleep. I just wake up really early. But I did good. I did not get up at 3 today. I got up at 5. So I consider that a totally reasonable waking hour. I came into my craft room after a shower and such, and I just started printing. So I had a few more covers that I really needed to fill. And so I went ahead and printed up enough pages for those covers. So I need to put them together. So what I did is, well, I did some shopping on Etsy. I'm going to admit it right now. I bought these. I bought quite a few others that I've been stacking up for some time. So it wasn't all at once, you know. It was, you know, they were picked up for a while. Okay, so these are really pretty. This is Marry Me Juliet, and I can't remember the name of the shop. This is a totally different printable. So it's so funny. When I am doing card making, I just want to use one paper pad because it all coordinates, and I won't have to worry about patterns clashing and stuff like that. When I do a junk journal, I do the completely opposite thing. So when I do a junk journal, I actually like to pick about 4 printables, even from different shops that I've purchased from, and I like to mix. So this is like a gorgeous one that's all about the moon. So this whole one is just about the moon, which I love the moon. And so I did moon blank pages, or, you know, lined pages with a different company's kind of boho girls, but that's not all. I like to have ethnic diversity represented in my art and on my table and in my journals. So I found this really cool kit that has, you know, beautiful African girls. And I just really, really loved it. So I wanted to incorporate them as well into my boho. That reminds me of my daughter. I mean, she's only 8, but she just, so take that neckline out. There we go. That reminds me of my daughter. Okay, so I had this kit. I can try to look these up because they're from so many different places. I have no way of remembering, and I have a terrible memory with names, where these came from, but I just loved them. I love her. She reminds me of my husband's family, like his mom and aunts, and I really like her a lot. So, okay, I printed those girls. But then on the back, I did a little more moon. And then I did these really pretty, look at these. I have been drawing like this lately. So I've been drawing bonsai trees. And what I did is I made the petals and leaves of the trees butterflies. And this morning I found another artist who is doing that, of course, in a much different way. So these are like botanicals where the petals of the flowers are butterflies. And I was like, oh, yeah, we think alike. So I thought this would be a really pretty addition to the journal as well. One thing that did happen to me is I wasn't paying close enough attention. So this page needs to go like this, right? But my botanicals are upside down. So I'm not going to reprint because that feels like a total waste. Instead, I have some of the other ones that I did the same thing. Look at this girl and look at that page. Isn't that beautiful? So these were upside down too. I just decided to do a rough hand cut. I'm probably going to, well, not probably, here, we'll just do it. I'll cut this apart. And I think what I can do is just add pieces like this over it, and it kind of changes the context of it enough that it's not overly apparent that these botanicals were upside down. And then that way I can keep my portraits upright. Oh, I just love her. And I don't have to reprint. Ooh, I even like this because it ties in more with the butterflies. So that's the plan of how I'm going to recover from that accident. Hey, Ingrid, welcome, welcome. So we'll just go ahead and do that now. I'm just kind of, this is nice too because it gives someone like a defined writing space. This one I could do either the advertisement, or I really liked this, but I couldn't see someone writing over that. Maybe we'll do the advertisement. I don't know. Let's see. I really like this. I know they might not be able to write over it, but, and I don't think this is an advertisement. It's like a ledger. It's probably like a deed or something. I don't know. But there, now this to me, this page is fixed. I can fold it up and put it in my journal, no problem. If I find some like this that need a little more trimming, then I just trim it right off. Okay, so let's go through. What I need to do is turn my girls upright. So my girls, I want all my girls to be upright, my birds, my portraits. So I'm going to focus on that real quick. Okay, I'm going to separate these out. So these are all like, and these are all alike. So I'm going to start creating some piles. That way I can pull from them. This is to rescue pages. Let's see, these are just lined pages printed with the botanicals, the butterfly botanicals. Oh, there's another lovely. Let's find, where she goes, which is over here. Okay, oh, yep. Okay, so all these can go right there. This one, I'll just throw that in the mix as well. Now look at these, holy cow. I found this printable this morning and was all about it. This is totally me. I just love it so much. I think this is perfect too for a bohemian journal. So this is gonna brighten everything up. Hey Denise, and it's going to totally just take this combination to a whole new level. On the back, I printed just a random, I wanted to print more journaling places, so I printed a lot of lined paper. I printed a couple of boho sheets as well, some ledger and advertisements, a little more boho, some peacock feathers. So yeah, those are going to be a stack. So now I need to make at least 2 journals from this, but I will be adding other pages as well. Okay, so now I have my printables and I kind of have 3 different designs going on. Now I need to add some of my tea dye paper. So let me get some of that out. I used to sell this in my Etsy shop and I don't know, I had a few packages left and I just kind of took it out and was like, I think I'm gonna use it. So I have a few different colors here. I have pink, green, and cream, which is fantastic because I want all 3 kind of mixed up with these 3. I know I can definitely get 3 journals at least. I think I can make 3 bohemian journals out of this. That's the goal. Okay, so with my tea dye, I do just standard book paper. I do copy weight 20 pound. You know, this is your cheap copy weight paper that totally transforms once you soak it in tea or coffee. So I do that in every color. So now I have lined papers that are green and regular paper, same thing in pink. I also do purple, and that's kind of my 4 colors. I think I've done blue once, but I kind of stick to pink, green, purple, and tea dye color when I'm making them. All right, so I've got so many options to pull from. I'm gonna stack all my lined paper in one stack, I think, and then I'm gonna stack all of these in another. And I'm gonna start pulling these together. So let's see what we got here. I need to decide the cover with the front sheet of some of these journals are gonna be. So I think I'll do a variety. So I'll do one journal where this is the front page that you open to. I'll do, I love this girl lady right here. So she's gonna be the front of another page for me, or of another journal for me. Okay, and then these are just vibrant and fun and gorgeous. So this will be, we'll make this the front of another journal. So we're gonna try to stretch this and make 3 journals here. All right, so now we have the beginning of our 3. All right, here we go. Hope y'all don't mind the sound of paper rattling and crinkling. All right. I think I want this pink with the vibrant over here. Okay. I'll do green behind this one just because this lovely green here, even though it's not on the back, it'll be fine. So I've really been liking smaller journals, but I made one with like, I think it had 50 pages, and my husband thought it was a little too small. And he's like, if you have to ask yourself if it's too small, you probably need to add more pages. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I added more pages. Okay, so I kind of just start flipping and getting a feel for things. Okay, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, so now we got green for this girl. Let's give her some pink. And she needs one of these pages because she has a lined page. So I kind of create a formula for myself, and that way when I'm mass making like this, I don't have to think about it too much because I have a formula already. So then we had pink lined. I'm going to do a tea dye. I'm going to calm this journal down a little bit. This page is kind of naturally dog-eared, so I think it adds character. Oh, and that's lined. And so I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to leave it just as it is. I don't know if we'll get to it today. We will see. Maybe with the Cleopatra pages. But coming back into journaling, junk journaling, after taking such a long hiatus, one of my goals has been to not have so many sideways pages. And what I mean by that is, you know, when we get to cutting these pages out of this Cleopatra book, typically what you'll see is someone will like turn it sideways or something. And in junk journaling, a lot of times the pages are sideways. I kind of want to get away from that. And what I'm going to do instead is glue them together. I'm going to re-seam the pages, and that way not everything's all topsy-turvy. All right, so now we have, let me show y'all, just because I wanted to share my madness with y'all. Okay, so now we have this one with a lined and a solid, right? Same thing here and here. Now it's time to mix these up because I'm planning on these all being shared across the board. Okay, so now this girl needs one of these sheets. I'm going to put that next in the mix here. This girl right here needs one of these sheets. Look how moody she is. She's my favorite image, I think, out of this little kit. I just love the moodiness. So now this girl has one, and now this one needs some girls. Let's just throw in this one. Okay, now I resume the same process of adding in the lined pages. So far I've got cream and green, so I'm going to go to pink, and I always do the lined one first. So now I'm going to put in my pink, okay, and then I'll put in, she already has a green, so we'll do cream. So one thing that I am doing with these journals too, let me pull out one that I have stitched together. I'm going to be selling and marketing these as writing journals, not necessarily junk journals, because they don't have really technically a lot of junk parts in them. They're really a lot of printables and tea dye. And I think overall they don't have like a lot of flips and tuck places, but they have plenty of room to journal and write. So I'm going to have, these are going to be considered writing journals, not junk journals. And they're just beautiful writing journals. So that's kind of what we're doing here, but we're going to junk them up a little bit. Just in case you guys are wondering, because I'm putting so much tea dye and printables and we're not seeing the junk side of it yet. It'll come. We'll add it in intermittently, and then I'm hoping I'll have time this week to add in other details to it. so she already has pink and green. She needs cream. So let me get her some cream pages. Here's one. Already folded. Yay. Sorry I didn't fold this up ahead of time. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. How am I going to bind them? I am going to bind these in these file folder covers that I made on the channel the other day with tissue, napkins, and Mod Podge. So this is going to be the cover, and I will bind them with a pamphlet stitch like so. I mean, it only takes me like 5 minutes to bind these. It's so fast. So I'll stitch them. I'll hand stitch them in. There's the center page. And then I still have to decorate this cover, and I have to decorate the spine, which I'm going to show y'all today. Okay, so this girl has the cream lined. Yes. So now she needs we'll just do green. Don't overthink it. So now, nice variety. Okay, so that one's caught up. There may be a smarter way to do this. This is just how I do it. Okay, let's give her some pink. And then let's do another cream. Okay, so now that one's good. Okay, now this girl, I'm pretty sure she just needs some wild, yep. She just needs one of these pages thrown in the mix. Like so. And I won't just keep doing this. I won't finish these with you guys because I don't want to bore you to tears, but I want you to see my process. I want you to kind of see how I combine things to come up with the insides, because I realized the other night that that was something I hadn't shared with you. I really love this page. Like, all the extra saturation of color is really nice. Sometimes, you know, if I'm making a true like junk journal and I'm going like all in, I will definitely add envelopes. Like, I'll sew stitch envelopes in and tuck spots and like belly bands and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I wanted to make some for the craft fair that were a little more simple. One, because I don't know how many people there are gonna, you know about junk journals or want a junk journal, but I figured selling writing journals would be easy enough. Plus, it's easier to mass produce them versus mass producing junk journals. When you're adding all the details, it really takes time. You already know that, Mary, from the books that you make. Like, it could just really take up a lot of time adding all the details. So I just want to make sure that I can produce enough of them that it makes it all worthwhile and I have enough for my table, and that it's generic enough that it appeals to more people is kind of my goal. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we've got all three kinds now, and that one and that one. And let's see, I think this one needs one of my African ladies, yep, in it. So let's add one of those. Oh, this girl's fantastic. We'll put her in. They do. They take so much time. And oh my goodness, I'm kind of glad I haven't finished that. It's so terrible. But I'm kind of glad I haven't finished that photo book for my mom, because all the details that you added are really inspirational for me. One of the things I'll probably do is go back and I'll add like fabric pieces to these and stuff like that. Okay, let me set these aside. So now that I have them sorted, I'm going to go ahead and stack them like this so I don't have to resort them later. These journals are not done, but I don't want to keep doing that process over and over and boring y'all to tears. So I have this other book that was the lady at the thrift store just gave me yesterday. It was free. Hymns, which, yes, love me a hymn book for my junk journals. This one, I will say, if I had looked at it more closely, see, this one had like a, I don't know, I think someone tried, I don't know if they tried. I don't know what kind of condition this book is in. It's a little rough. So I'm going to be real particular actually with this one, making sure I pull only clean pages for it. Just to make sure whatever I pass along is good to go. So let's take a few of these out. Okay. Did I pull an even number? Let's see. I think I pulled 4. Yes, I did. Okay, let me get 2 more. That way I have 1 for each of these journals. Okay. Oh, I like, these are like just brittle enough to tear very well. Okay. Oh, I lost the light. Let's see. Let me try to see if that wants to come back on. Huh. Well, we're 1 light down. Hopefully it's not too dark. All right. So now I'm going to tear out my Cleopatra pages. I kind of wish it had Cleopatra like written at the top or something, but it doesn't. Okay, we need 6. Okay. It's official. No one's reading that book. I just tore it apart. Okay. So I want to just show y'all my plan for things like this when I don't want them to be put in my book sideways. I mean, that's fine and everything, but it's just not what I want. So show you what the plan is. The plan is to just glue these with my nice strong adhesive glue. Make a line. This really shouldn't take too much time. It should hold just fine. And if I overlap it enough, I can guarantee that I'll be able to fold it and sew it in just like all the other pages. And this way I'll have some stuff to put in there that's a little different. So I'll just keep doing that. Okay, after this, hey, good morning, Elizabeth. Holy hop of guacamole, you were hopping so hard yesterday. My goodness, girl, you worked so hard. But it was fun, and I enjoyed the cards you made. And oh my goodness, that kit from Monica, Tailor Made Cards for You, that vintage Christmas kit. Yes, I loved it, and I loved the cards you made. You did a great job. No, my craft fair, hey April, welcome, welcome, good morning. My craft fair is next Saturday, December 4th. For anyone who's in Texas, in Central Texas, like the Austin area, if you want to come and say hello, I would love to see you. I will be at it's called the Mistletoe Market. It's in Taylor, Texas. It's on Saturday the 4th from 10 to 4 p.m. And it's an artist market. There will be photographers, ceramics, pottery, oil paintings. It's going to be really cool. And there's going to be like so much diversity, which is why they did, they had like judges, and they had a panel that had to review your portfolio so that they could have a lot of diversity there. So I'm real excited about that. Also, everything has to be handmade that you sell at your booth. Bonus. So yeah, would love to see y'all for anyone who's there. Okay, so now there we go. I made enough at least for each one of our journals that we just put together. I can put one of these in there now. I'm gonna let them dry a little bit just to make sure we don't have any sticky situations going on. Okay, I kind of wanted to cram a lot into this live with y'all because I wanted to really show you my process. So I showed you just now how I do my pages. Now these are the journals we put together. We made these covers the other day. I already had the inserts done and ready to go. This is really fun, like winter one, like woodland winter. So I didn't do the flaps, and I left this open so somebody could put something in the pocket if they wanted to. But now what I need to do is I really want to put a pocket here because I like to have a front pocket in my journals. I usually have one in the back, but because this is here, I don't feel like I need one to go there. So we'll put something else there. I really like these covers, but this is not done to me as is. I really have to add more. It needs to look like this for me to be happy. So this is the closest one to being done. Let me pull out my sari silk here. I think I like this blue one for this one because it already has so much blue. Let me move the stuff to the side. All right. So for this one's virtually done. I did notice that I need to glue that down a little bit. So this was Franken paper that we made when we made the journals, and then I added like paste to it, and then we made this part. Okay, so now what I typically like to do is run some sari silk inside here. I think a bow just makes everything better, so I want to tie a bow on here. And I actually will just tie a knot first so I can make sure it holds. And then I'll tie it in a bow. And sometimes I double my bows. I'm liking that. Now I left my strings long here. Another thing I'm going to do that I want y'all to see is I actually like to add a little glue to my knots. So I'm using a waxed thread, and sometimes the knots just want to release a little bit. Okay, so what I do is add a little glue, just a little, on both sides like that. Squeeze it together one more time so it can kind of work that glue in there. I'll leave it standing up like this. I'm gonna let that dry. Now I left my strings long in case I wanted to add charms to this or something, which I might still do. I just like to leave my options open, so that's why that's still dangling there. But now with that glue around that knot, I don't have to worry about my wax thread coming apart. Like, it's always my goal to make my stuff with the best integrity that I can because I want someone to love this and I want it to hold up and last. Okay, so this journal is kind of almost done. I do have to let that thread dry, but then I'll come back in and put a pocket in here. Hey, Cordelia's here. Hi. Hi, Cordelia. Hope you're doing good. Okay, let's add a pocket to this one before we add our sari silk. That way you can see how I do it. All right, so this one is another winter woodland journal. By the way, I always like my center page to be like really decorative on both sides because it's the middle. Make the middle fantastic. I'm going to put a pocket on here. Let me look at my scraps. Will this go? Oh, I like this. It's a sweater. It's blue. It's Mente. Yeah, so I think we just found our pocket. Now you could run your pocket on the side so people can tuck things into the side or the bottom. I just kind of like the bottom. Run some glue. And another secret about pockets is if you want to make sure that something's gonna, like that you, like this pocket's gonna be very flat and they're gonna have to stretch it out. But you could, if you already have tags ready or something that you want to put in the pocket, put it in there before you glue it down and it automatically like stretches the pocket out for you. Just a little tip. I didn't do that, but we'll do that. I don't know if it really goes, but I don't care. It'll be fine because I can always come back and add ephemera and stuff. Okay, let's do the cover. This is another one of the Woodland Winter. Ooh, I like. So these are the different ruffles I made. This is a sloth, but I think when you make a ruffle out of it, it becomes pretty. I don't like this pink with it, but I like the pink with other ones, so that's why I did the pink. I kind of like this icy blue on here. Okay, yeah, I do. I like the icy blue. Let's pick out a sari silk. How about we do another blue? And then when I'm at my table, I'll kind of know what people are picking because I only have 2 of these, but maybe I'll remember that if it has this dark blue, it's the Winter Woodland Journal. Who knows? I may never think about it again. You're so allergic to sewing. Oh no. I'm allergic to sewing anything that requires like a pattern and precision, but I don't mind throwing stitches on stuff. Oh my goodness. Hey Kim in Alaska. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. I had so much fun watching you and Elizabeth and Melissa. Oh my gosh, I did not mean to cause any drama, by the way, with my comment. I told Elizabeth separately, like, I'm gonna have to be even more careful, like, and because I never intend for something like that, but yeah, I still had so much fun in that live with y'all. And it was fun to watch because I've been doing these lives and I was like, oh, I just get to sit back and watch the ladies go chit chat. I was just waking up from a nap. That was a great way to wake up from a nap. Hey, good morning, Mary. Welcome. I was thinking about you today. I think about you often. It wasn't just today, but I was thinking about you today and your scrapbooking class. And just thinking about, you know, maybe I should take one. Like, I don't want to make big, like 12 by 12 scrapbooks, but I like doing memory keeping again and making like journals. And I was like, but I know I could learn something from her. So maybe I need to try to take one of those. You've been having so many fabulous guests on Craft Roulette, and I've been so busy. You guys, 2022 is going to be a big shakeup here on my channel. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be a shakeup. Just because of the artistic endeavors that I want to get into and the amount of time that I have to do my artistic endeavors. Yeah, you know, Mary, I was like, I wish I had more time just to follow your Patreon account. I mean, I joined it really just to support you and to show the love. Um, and I want to join it and I want to be a part of it, but again, I'm just so busy. But I I think it's brilliant. Oh my goodness. Hi Sharon. Welcome, welcome. Okay. So I'm going to put that there. I just love a fabric ruffle on my covers. I've been doing this for a couple of years. And none of them feel complete without one. And that, by the way, is going nowhere. If y'all are ever looking, like, to me, the ultimate double-sided adhesive comes from a cherry on top. This is the 5/8, which I'm really loving right now. They had a sell on their double-sided adhesive a couple of months back, and I was like, I'm just going to buy one of every size, because what happened was I subscribed to their box, and a roll came in a box, and that's when I fell in love with their tape. And so when they had a sell, I was like, you know, I only had a 1/4 inch in my stash, and I just decided I'd go for it. Okay, these are some ephemera pieces from the same thing that's on the inside. Let me see here if I have any others. I don't think I do. So we'll just pull from these. I love how moody these are. I feel like they're really moody, like me. And spurts, you know, me too, Mary. I tend to do things hold my interest. Like I've noticed a pattern for many years in my life where things hold my interest for about 3 months. Card making is the longest that any one craft is. Well, card making and jewelry making, I would say. Well, I don't know. Pottery and ceramics I did for like 8 straight years of my childhood, but typically things hold my interest for about 3 months. That used to be for boyfriends and everything. I would be interested for about 3 months and then I was bored. So yeah, what I want to do more of in the coming year is for real smashing my stash. So I have a craft room that's overwhelming because it has so much stuff in it. And I want to do a lot more with repurposing materials that maybe aren't necessarily, you know, being used for what they're designed for or whatever, but repurposing materials and a lot of like mixed media art. And I'm going to be breaking into bigger canvases. I used to work on big canvases. I used to make rather large paintings for many years, and I haven't painted since my son was born, but that's been changing. And so, you know, my canvas size is going to start changing a bit. Hey, Tammy, good morning. Welcome. Okay. So, I don't know how I feel about this right now. So, I just kind of keep going until I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. I kind of like the idea of this almost looking like a moon. Let's see what we can do. I don't know. I think I just took that feeling away from it, cutting out all this, but we'll just keep going. If we don't like it, we'll print more. Kind of fits in that doily nicely. Nope, that needs to go over. take the owl out of it. Here, I have another owl. Let's use this one maybe. But yeah, I'm like interested to see like all these endeavors that I want to embark on. I told my husband yesterday, I said, I'll always be a card maker. I think for the rest of my life, however many days I have left, I will always be a card maker. But by exploring all of these other avenues, I look forward to how it's going to impact my card making. Okay. You know what he needs? Maybe he needs a little fabric behind him. That's a little thing I like to do. Let's see. Let's see. Find a scrap piece to throw behind him. Oh yeah, that's what he needed. Okay. The world is right again. Feeling good about that. Let me stitch that up real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Cordelia, I hope the sound of my sewing machine didn't cause any allergic reactions. Okay, I don't want that to bubble, so I'm just trimming that part off. I was going in a hurry, so it's not the best looking stitch and the fabric gathered, but it will work. These are junk journals after all, aren't they? Okay, I'm going to put double-sided tape on this as well. And some glue. Grandma, yay! Oh, good. Well, there's going to be a whole lot of that, you know, this next year. Life, groceries. Can we talk about grocery costs? Come on. Like, it's eating up my craft budget. So that's going to be a big part of it. Like, I need to use my resources wisely. And therefore, my craft budget's going to be cut and my room's going to be decluttered all at the same time. It's a beautiful symphony of craftiness. Wow, that's a wild cover, but somebody's going to connect with it. I just know it. I want to throw a button on it and then I can call it done. My hubby bought me hot glue the other day because I couldn't find mine. So I'll again be right back. Y'all just chat, be friendly. Okay. Yay! Plug that in. All right. We'll give this baby a minute to heat up. See, I was like down to the very bottom. My hubby bought me new folders to make my covers with because y'all know I was saying I wanted some white ones. So these and another bottle of glue because in one day I almost used up it. Well, I did use a full one of these in one day. So I got another one. Restocking. All right, let me catch up to y'all while my heat gun's warming up. Oh, that's just stuff falling off in my craft room and all my piles. Let's see. Oh, thanks for hitting the like button. You ordered glitter paper on Instagram. Well, Mary, you need some sparkle. That's okay. That's right, Elizabeth. See, look, Mary, we'll enable you, okay? Oh, Kim, I have a coffee mug that says Nap Queen, and I should kind of have a tiara and um, all the legit certificates that come with being a napper. I'm 100% with you. Right? Good job, Mary. I'm proud of you. Okay, so this doesn't really add up to the colors, right? So let's work on this real quick. And then we'll move on. We'll pull out another journal. Ooh, look what I did. I cleaned. So, okay, I didn't work in my craft room yesterday necessarily, but I did spend a few minutes in here cleaning up. I created this whole folder that's just for Franken paper. So that I can just get this out and tear things up. I'm so excited. Oh, those are, look at these wild bookmarks I made one time. Okay, I don't know why I put those in there. But yeah, these are just like miscellaneous things I put into one of those little plastic pieces. And let's see, what can we do so that this isn't bothering me so much. Let's me look. It's kind of liking that owl. Let me do some more edits. I've kind of chopped this thing. Oh my gosh, it just made me think of my brother. Okay, y'all, I have 4 brothers. And one of them broke his arm one time in his adulthood. Not that, I mean, a number of years ago, but like well into his adulthood, he broke his arm. And it kept bothering him, and he kept editing his cast. So he would like, I kind of like that. I kind of feel like I just need to cover this up because this is, I'm not liking this. So he kept editing with like a Dremel his cast until he had edited it down so much that he had to go back and get his arm reset in the cast because he had taken so much off of it. Well, that's kind of what that owl piece is reminding me of. Okay. I think this paper pad's gonna help me with this pocket. Let's just grab the first thing we see. Oh, look. Let's maybe use some scraps. And this is just the first page I see here. I think with junk journals, just don't overthink it. When we overthink it, it just becomes too much work. It shouldn't be that way. I don't mind maybe a little bit of it showing. Let's just do this. Okay, I'm working my way. I'm going to work my way back up the comments here, but I just saw Mary's where she's talking about, she did an inventory. Mary, I have been thinking about selling off so many of my stamps. I mean, I've already done a lot on my Etsy page. I de-stashed there, but like, I'm thinking about doing so much more for the same reason, and I just feel myself going in a different direction. And the same thing, I have 2 cherry boxes that I haven't even touched yet, which was another reason I just kind of took a hard right on where I'm going with this channel in the new year. I'm just going to add this here just because. So not going to be a pocket. It's just going to be a little added interest in this back area. But that was definitely one of the things, like, I don't want things sitting around here that I haven't even touched yet, and then another one's on the way. I love my cherry boxes, don't get me wrong, but okay, so here we are. I'm going to show you all this again. So I have a triple knot here. I'm going to put my glue on. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Crunch. Yes. Set it aside. All right, let's go back to that other one. I think it should be dry now. Yeah, see, when it dries, you can't see the glue, so it's no big deal, but it helps secure that knot. Let's put a pocket in here. This paper is not, for me, thick enough for a pocket. I like my pockets to be of a sturdy cardstock. This one's kind of thin, but it'll work to back it. You can just back it like this. So this is another tip if you have paper that you want to use, but you don't have the right color and the right thickness or something, just back it. Just glue it to another piece. Double it up. This is a great way right here, instead of using this really pretty cardstock that I like, and covering it up, you could totally use junk mail for this. And they send so many pieces of junk mail, just come in those really thick cardstocks that we can't even buy. So I keep them. They're great for layering. I keep some of it, not all of it. Okay. All right, I gotta work my way back. Mary C, hi. Oh my goodness. Those books you sent me. I took them with me on my road trip yesterday. I got to spend 45 minutes because I arrived early, just looking at them and oohing and awing and taking notes. You sent them to the right person. I just want to say, like, they have a good home here of someone who loves them and appreciates them. Thank you so much for sending those to me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to show them off eventually. All right. I need to make sure this is going to stay. All right, so now we have another pocket. All right, and this is much better for me. All right, so this journal is almost done because this is one of the writing journals and not a junk journal, so I don't need to add a whole lot. I will put a piece of ephemera back here to cover up that, since these are all glued down now. Another thing that could totally be done, we'll just do it. Don't talk about it, just do it. I'll show you. Okay, so I print these on one of my all-time favorite papers, which is Spring Hill Digital 110 Index paper, but this is an ivory. My printer likes it. I love it. So that's what this is printed on. All right, we'll just cover that metal piece up, and then I'm gonna bring in another piece of this. So this is Park Lane from Joanne. And I like buying, you know, I like all kinds of paper. That's probably pretty evident. It's not super thick. Does it say how? It doesn't say how thick it is, but and it's one-sided, but it's so perfect for junk journals. Y'all know how much I love double-sided paper for my card making. Well, I really like single-sided paper for my junk journals. Okay, so I'm just tucking that in like so. I'm gonna trim off the edge. Let me flip it over. Ooh, it might be fun to bring it back over here. Why not? Tear some off. Heck yeah. All right, problem solved. Now, I'm gonna glue this down. Uber glue right there on my edge. That's good. You know, that was kind of bothering me. I'll show y'all what was bothering me. It was bothering me to see some of the edges of the file folder that I'd used to make the covers out of the other day. Let me show you. This was bothering me a little bit. Seeing that, and this was kind of irking me a little bit. All right, so this is already glued down, the flap. And I'm sorry, one of my lights just went out today during this live. Okay, but this now is not bothering me anymore. Take my bone folder. Well, let's go this side. Mash it down. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, this needs more glue. I don't, in my junk journals, especially my covers, I don't like anything to catch. So I glue all my edges like really well. That way if somebody puts this in their purse or travels with it, things don't catch on it and tear the cover of their journal. Because that would be sad. Okay. Cool, now this pocket is lined. Ooh, this journal's done. For me, this journal's done. Okay, that means we have one done. Okay, I smell my heart glue gun melting over here. So let's put, I had not forgotten, maybe I had, but I smell it melting, so that reminded me. Let's put a button on here. Do y'all want to see my buttons? I've got some, I like buttons. Let me grab them. I don't know where my big button box is. This is supposed to be my small and medium buttons, but I kind of have them separated by color. I've got my black, I have my ivory. Well, this kind of tipped over when I was grabbing it, but this is mostly ivory and bone, and then these are my wild childs over here. Put that over there. They get mixed up from time to time, but we just need to find a button to go on here. This is a wild cover, so it needs a wild child button. Okay, don't overthink it. Don't do it. I like the orange. I mean, why not? Yes. A charm would be really cute. I am going to go back and read all y'all's comments because I want to. So after I put this button on, I'm going to go back in the comments. I'm going to get caught up. And then we'll get back to crafting. Yay. Okay, I think that means this journal's done too, but I need to check. Okay, we've got this. Of course, I might put charms on here. Let's look. I don't think I have any beads out right now. Y'all want to hear the most hilarious thing? About a month ago, I was cleaning up my craft room. I packed up all my junk journal stuff, and I told my hubby, I was like, look, let's take this up to the attic. I'm just not into junk journals right now. This morning, I was like, hey, babe, you know that box, all those boxes of junk journal stuff? Yeah, we need to bring them back down. I'm back into junk journaling now. Oh, I keep him on his toes. That's all it is. Ooh, I like this little moon because I love the moon. Here's a wing. That might be fun since we have an owl. Oh, I have an owl. Okay. I just wish I had beads. I mean, don't send me beads, guys. I have beads. I just don't have them in here. So since I don't have them in here, let's use buttons because we know I've got those. All right, back to the buttons. Isn't this box fantastic? I got this at the thrift store. I love the thrift store. I always have. It's a Hallmark box from 1984. It was like 25 cents or 50 cents. And it has become a great button box. I'm running out of space here. All right, so we're going to use the owl, I think. And we're going to use some buttons. Ooh, I like this one, and it's orange. It's kind of like the inverse of that one. So let's definitely put this one on there. I'm just going to kind of string a few buttons here. They don't have to. Ooh, let's put this blue. Ooh, that's a nice one. So you guys, I was thinking what I don't sell in the craft fair, I'll try to post in my Etsy shop. In fact, what I was thinking is this week in the evenings, I will take pictures of my things first. And that way if I do have anything left over, I'll already have the pictures and then it'll be easier to post. It's all the technical stuff that I don't enjoy in sharing. I just want to just turn my camera on and just share. And I want to do other things. I'm having a hard time with the stream. Like, I want to do crafty zooms the way Elizabeth does, but I don't want to figure it out. Like, I think I can do it through Restream. And I know I just have to, like, it's a big enough priority that I just have to do it. But I'm really a very simple person when it comes to the things that I do and get involved in. Okay, let's put this owl on here, and then we'll put one more button on the end, and I think this charm will be done. Yay, I'm glad I left my string on. I always leave my string on. You gotta have your options. I like this red rose, and this fabric has some red flowers in it. It'll be a good ending because it's got this kind of back. I don't know what kind of back that is, but it's got that kind. So welcome everyone. I don't know if I've missed people. I love that y'all are chatting and having a good time with each other. And I'm gonna just get this done and catch up. All right, so this here is our charm. I kind of want to do this a little differently. I need to tie a different kind of knot. I've kind of always wanted to learn all the variations of knot tying. It's not long enough to tie the kind I wanted, so we'll go back to this. And then y'all know I'm going to put my glue. In fact, you can put your glue in this step, right? So I've tied it once. Oh, my stomach's growling. I should eat today. Okay. Put my glue here. So yeah, another reason I'm just kind of going in a whole new direction in 2022 is because I think I've done a good job in balancing things, but I think things are about to speed up even more. Like our kids are going to get back into more extracurricular activities, and I just want to make sure that I always put my family first. And I can't say that I've done that 100% of the time this year. But I just want to make sure that's always in my wheel of balance. Holy cow, I think that charm just made this journal for me. And it all started with this orange funky button. Isn't that fabulous? I love that. Okay. So I said we were going to finish this one up, and then I'm going to catch up on comments. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, we finished 2 journals together, you guys, and we started 3 that are not finished, but we started them. Okay, so I'll leave this here. Yep, I'm good with that. What about the back? Yeah, I had taken the metal piece off of that. Oh, we should put a sheet in there. This green caught my eye. Oh, this will work. Okay, we're going to do it just like the other one. Don't throw that away. Franken paper. All right. Bend this over. Right. Learn to shuttle tat. What? I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, oh, so let me tell y'all about my road trip real quick yesterday. So I just drove a couple of hours. You know, I live north of Austin, and my brother lives up, all my brothers live up in the DFW area, which is Dallas, Fort Worth. And so my mom went up there for Thanksgiving, and me and one of my, well, y'all know her, Lily, me and my Lily, and her son Lane, who is a magical, wonderful human being, an artist. We met each length of the way, well, in Waco for my mom. Her being on the highway makes me extremely nervous. So I would much rather drive her myself if she wants to go somewhere. So we met at our halfway point, which was Waco. The first time we met, we just had lunch, which was nice and fine. But this time we met, we ate, we chatted. Y'all know Lily's getting into card making, and oh my goodness, she's blowing my mind. She's doing so good, and she's loving it. And then Lane, her son, is an amazing artist. He shared his sketchbook with me yesterday, and it was blowing my mind. He's an amazing portrait artist. And he had drawn me, and I have it up on my wall in here, but he had made me a sunflower card one time that he had drawn. And anyways, so then, you know, we were having a great lunch, and I was like, hey guys, do y'all want to go to a local thrift store? So I Googled a local thrift store, and I'll tell you, me and my opinions, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I don't shop at Goodwill. I like to shop at local thrift stores. So we have St. Vincent de Paul, which is like a Catholic thrift store that I adore. And I don't mind, I like Salvation Army, but I really like local thrift stores. So I found one that was local in in Waco, and it was magical. So that's where I got my books that I showed y'all and other things. All right, so this one's done, and now I'm gonna catch up on comments. But on the way, it was like raining the whole day and the whole way, but I took a back highway to stay off of 35, and I need a drink of water. I kept stopping for reference photos of things I wanted to paint along the way, which is really funny. I'm glad I still got there early enough to go through the books that Mary sent me. But I had kept stopping and turning around and going back on this old, highway to take pictures of reference photos. And then we end up at the bookstore. So I feel like it was still a very creative day, even though I wasn't in the craft room. And on the way, I was doing a lot of self reflection. It's the way I am when I get alone, like on a road trip, or I used to just go rent a cabin and isolate and do like self reflection. And I just, really was trying to get perspective. I've been feeling things, like instinctual things, but they didn't make a lot of reason and logic. But yesterday on my drive, all the things I have been feeling are exactly what's right for me. And I know that they are because of how everything came together for me and my thought process yesterday, which gave me a complete peace over the things that were bothering me. So it was a really, really good day. Totally glad that my mom needed a chauffeur. Plus, I missed her. I hadn't seen her in a week. And I got to see other family. It was really, really, really nice. Okay. I'm going back. This is going to take me a minute, y'all. I got to catch up to y'all. All right. Let me go back. Let me go back. Oh, thank you. So, oh, good. So, Cordelia, I did not cause Cordelia any allergic reactions with my sewing. It's only if she touches it. I totally get it. Totally. Oh, Kim, so you just like cut the cost of groceries, not crafts, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you, I am like not a picky eater at all. So, I mean, I could have avocado inside of a tortilla with salsa and call that a meal, but my family doesn't feel the same way. And I can eat cereal for a meal. Like, I am so not picky, but my family likes a well balanced diet. Okay, I know I had seen that. That's right, Denise. When I get up at 3, I usually do need a nap, but you know what? I don't always take one. It just depends. But then that's at 8 o'clock, I could be asleep on the couch. Oh, that's cool. Cordelia just ordered some variety packs of colored cardstock and matching envelopes from Barely Arts. Oh, that's cool. You know what? They need to restock these guys. I can't find these guys on Amazon. And look, that's just one more refill. And I go through this stuff. So I'm glad they're doing paper and stuff, but I need them to put their glue back out. I know, Cordelia. She says, and I keep saying I'm not ordering any more craft stuff. I'm telling you, it is addictive, like real addictive, like not jokingly addictive. I know that there's so many hilarious memes in our craft where we joke about how buying craft supplies, is addictive, but it is true. And that's something that I want to keep in perspective. And here on my channel, I'm changing some directions in 2022 because if I want to use my stash and I want to inspire y'all to use your stash, then it has to be a low buy year and I have to make some changes. And I think it'll be good for me. I don't want to be as much of a consumer as I am a crafter and creator. Oh, Mary, good morning. Oh, you like the bookmarks just like they are, Sharon? Those wild ones I made? Oh, good. Okay. Oh, you liked it better with the arcing leaf? Yeah, I had to just do away with that whole thing. Oh, gel plates. Yes, Sharon. Yes, I need more time. I'm good. I made a whole journal out of just jelly plate prints. And I don't have it, I gave it away, but it was quite magical. And here's the thing about jelly printing, Sharon. If you haven't done it before, or maybe you have and you just got a bigger plate, just have a whole stack of paper on the side, because I tell you, once you start going with jelly plating, before you know it, you're going to have 50 pieces of paper that are magical. And that's why I just made a journal out of them, because it was like, well, now I have 50 sheets of jelly prints. What am I going to do with these? I'm not going to store them. I'm going to use them. So I turned them in a journal, and it was really a neat journal. Okay. About the scissors. Okay, Mary, I use, these are my favorites. These behemoths from Tim Holtz. They're the tonic Tim Holtz. I think he's changed to black, so you might not recognize him because I'm not sure, but I think he's gone black instead of red. These are just old. But these right here are my absolute favorites, because when I do want to cut down a large sheet of paper, I can get a better cut, a straighter edge. Plus, I can cut through just about anything with these. It's so funny. Dr. Schraub, my hubby, is kind of somewhat intimidated by these and their cutting power and how heavy and big they are. But then there's sometimes some projects he's like, hey, can we try your scissors on this? Because they will cut through just about anything. And, you know, this is the only pair I've ever had. I need to clean them, but they are my favorite. So this is my favorite. I basically only have two favorites. These are kind of all I need and use. I really like these. These are a Fisker's nonstick. And I think they came in a 2-pack. I have 2 of them. I like these because my hands, I was a cake decorator for years, and all those piping bags, squeezing all those piping bags and everything, my hands aren't as strong as they used to be. And so I really like this spring action versus this action. If these came in this, oh man, that would be amazing. But it would be dangerous too, because they would always be out like that, and then you'd spring. Oh yeah, they'd be dangerous. It's probably better that they don't come in spring action. But those are my scissors. Those are kind of exclusively all you'll ever see me use. I found what I liked. Okay. I love mixed media. I just love it. Oh, he makes black and red ones. Okay. Oh, yeah, Sharon. So what I do, and this morning when I was putting together my boho stuff, I actually did 2 different colors of paper for my printables. So I did, okay, let me just pull it out. It'll make a lot more sense. I did a tan and I did an ivory. Okay, so that gave me a variable. And so my printables that I did here for this one, you can see the variation between these 2, right? So this one was printed on the ivory, the light color, and this one was printed on the tan. And I'm planning on putting them in the same journal, of course, but like you said, I just like the variation. Another thing that y'all didn't see me do that we didn't do here is if I want to use less tea-dyed paper, like if I'm running low or I just don't want to put that much in the journal, you know, this is just 8.5 by 11 tan paper. It's 20 pounds, but I can put that in there. It's not tea dye, but it almost looks tea dye, and I'm totally fine with it. So that's another thing that I'll do if I'm running low on this. But I make that in big batches. I make my tea dye paper in batches of like 200 sheets at a time. I just take a day and just tea dye. Okay. Oh, you like my plaid shirt? Walmart years ago. It has held up and it keeps me warm. So one thing I haven't shared with y'all, but on December 2nd will be the 1 year anniversary of, it's not like a great one, but of me. I was really ill last year, and to a point where I was getting bruising that I couldn't explain. And so I had to go to the doctor and get a bunch of blood tests. And one of the things they figured out is that my blood's too thin, like real thin. Like if I even cut myself, like I cut myself accidentally the other day doing dishes, I have to be real careful because if it doesn't stop bleeding, I have to go get help. But because my blood's so thin, I get cold more easily. And we still don't know what's causing my blood to be too thin. I keep seeing a hematologist. I've given him like 65 vials of blood in 2021. I don't know. I go back in January and get more tests. We will see. But yeah, so I'm wearing a flannel because my body temperature fluctuates a lot, which I think is because of perimenopause, but then also I just get cold from my thin blood. Okay. Yeah, Cordelia, I get you. Like, button collections are just fun. Even if you don't use them, but you just go through them, button collections are fun. And I'm kind of disturbed that I can't find my big mason jar of, I have big, fat, wild buttons, and I just have them in a big mason jar, and they're usually out on my shelf. I don't know where they are right now. But I just like to look at them. Like, I just think they're cool. Yeah, you can use a glue. Yeah, glue gun those buttons right on. That's what I do. Glue gun. Okay. Join the Navy. Yeah, Mary, I can easily overextend myself. And my husband's like, look, I support you. You don't need to quit anything as far as I'm concerned. If you want to keep going at the pace you're going, I fully support you. I love what you're doing with your channel. I love what you're doing with your creative time. I have his full support. However, I have to think of my children's perspective, which I sat each of them down and got their opinion, and they both wanted me to slow down. So that's a no-brainer. Um, that's a no-brainer at all. That kind of sealed the deal for me. Okay, I've got to figure out what Jamie, what you're talking about with the shuttle tat. Am I gonna do a Christmas card exchange? Yeah, I'm kind of done with Christmas. I'm ready to make Valentine's, and like I always, my family would tell you one of my mottos that I'm always telling them is I love love. So Valentine's is actually one of my favorite things to craft for. And I mean, I love Christmas. I'm a Christian. It's a big deal. We're starting Advent. Me and my kids are super focused in Advent every year. So we sit, we read Bible verses, we pray together, we dream together every day of December. It's so much fun. So I can't, I'm over Christmas crafting wise, which is kind of great because now I get to pour myself into doing Advent with my kids, and then, but I'm ready. I'm really ready for Valentine's. Share the love, spread the love. My desk looks lovely. Thank you. It's crazy. It's chaotic. One thing, I just saw Mary say something about lace, and definitely I like to add, and I was going to do that with these boho journals that I'm making. I'm going to add lace to the edges. let me catch up a little more. I can do that, and then I can let y'all go. I mean, y'all can go anytime, but I don't want to keep y'all all day. Let's see. Yeah, cereal. It's a perfectly good meal. Ooh, I've really been enjoying, unless you live, I mean, basically it's a granola plus flakes mix, but then I like just uncooked oats, like old fashioned oats, but I like it in my cereal, so I'll do like half a cup or a quarter cup of old fashioned oats, and then I'll put in like a granola and flake mix that also has nuts and dried fruit in it. And then my dad, since I was ever started with a bowl of cereal, always put fresh fruit in our cereal. I never ate cereal without fresh fruit in it, so I still can't. I can't just sit unless it's like Lucky Charms, like a sugary cereal, which is not my favorite. I just like a hearty bowl of cereal, and I always have fruit in it. I mean, he even used to buy fruit cocktail cans of it, and it was always in the pantry, and we'd drain off the juice and put that in our cereal sometimes too. My kids think I'm crazy, but I just love like a fresh banana, grapes, anything, any fruit, peach, pear. I'll eat any fruit in my cereal, but I won't eat my cereal without it. I know, Cordelia. I have been stalking this glue, trying to find. In fact, because I knew this was only going to fill mine up one more time, I went ahead and bought a small bottle, and two, because I tore up, this little thing came out, and so I kind of legitimately needed another small bottle because I needed to replace the needle, and I needed glue. But yeah, they need to replace that. They need to get that back in stock. I know everyone's having such a hard time keeping things going. Evidently, a lot of um, suppliers are like stopping supplying some things so they can supply diapers, which is wild. Such a weird time. Definitely nothing like I've lived through before. You want to learn macrame? Yeah, I like macrame a lot. I think that's a great idea, Mary. Craft supply swaps. I like that idea. Okay, let's see. You know, I think we're talking about scissors again. I think that Fiskars makes a long blade spring handle. And actually, I have been kind of eyeballing those. Vampire. Hold on. I think I went too fast. Let me go back. Hey, I think I'm about caught up. Okay. Yeah, I know, Aaron. I'm sure we'll figure it out. Um, One of the things was like vitamin deficiency. So um, I was a vegan and I wasn't supplementing with vitamins. And so one of my problems was that. But I've been taking my daily vitamins. I changed my diet. I'm eating meat again. Um, so my at least some of those levels are looking right. And I go back and forth. I think it's like, okay, we think you have lupus. Well, no, we don't think you have lupus. Well, maybe you do have lupus. Well, no, I don't know. It's I don't know how you can go back and forth with that, but somehow we do. And I do have lupus in my family. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it is. We shall see. I try not to stress too much about it, and I just try to be healthy and not get cut. I know. See, Mary, that's what I was thinking about. She says you can never get those kids back, those young years back with your kids once they're gone, you know, once they're grown up, they're grown up. And that's just it, you know, that was things I was putting in perspective yesterday. And I definitely make time for my kids. I mean, I craft one day a week. Sunday is Sunday fun day, but because we've been off the last 4 days and it was okay. And I'm making an exception because I have my craft fair next weekend and I've got to have inventory for it. But you know, Sunday is a day when we just spend with the family doing fun family things. And then I'm with them Monday through Friday. I do homeschooling with them. And, you know, in the evenings, we eat every meal at the table together. It's been a rule, even just before we had kids. I've always been a person of everyone sits down at the table and eats their meals together, TV turned off, conversation turned on kind of person. So, yeah, but I, you know, if my kids are saying, you know, yeah, why don't you slow down? Then I'm going to say no more, little one. I'm right there with you. Oh boy, this is a hymn I should actually read. Let all mortal flesh keep silence. Yes. And keep those crafty want monsters out of your head. All right. So these are the pieces that we glued together. Just showing you. So yeah, these boho journals are going to be a little more junky, but I like my pages being upright. So if you have smaller pages, this is my solution for you. Go ahead and rip them out of your books, but then glue them together so that like your paper doesn't have to always be sideways regardless of its size. Okay. Sharon, cutting die cuts. I just use these like, here, these little snips because they have this, wow, look at that. That one's kind of seen better days, but this is what I use, real fine tip snips. And you can get these just about anywhere. In fact, I bet you could even get them at a Walmart if you needed to. I think they're used a lot of times for like floral or jewelry making. But yeah, that's what I use for die cuts. I really hate cutting die cuts apart. My husband used to have a desk in here in my craft room, and I was cutting my die cuts apart one day and a piece just flew across and hit him in the face. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I hate cutting apart die cuts. A lot of times I try to see if I can avoid it at all costs. Okay, just adding these in as we go here. Your whole kitchen is jaded. What? Oh my gosh. That is so cool, Mary. Oh, Elizabeth already answered. Elizabeth, you're so awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you know, Dawn, I love taking junk journal stuff and making cards out of it. I mean, that's kind of like one of the things I had mentioned in one of my other lives. Like, if you don't know if you like junk journaling, if you find one printable that you like online and you pay $1, $2 for it, and you don't like making junk journals, you could totally make an awesome card out of all these printables, you know? Totally. You just think of it like pattern paper. Yeah, floral arrangement stuff. Yeah, that's another area to get it. Sounds cheeky. Okay. Well, guys, this was a fun hangout with you as always. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these. Okay, these are my artist sketchbooks. Okay, so this is like 80-pound sketchbook or sketch paper, drawing paper from Blick. And I did decide to cut this to 8.5 by 11 so that, and I like that it lays flat because some sketchbooks don't lay flat. But you know, if you wanted to work in this, you could have a nice flat laying sketchbook. The other idea I had with this is a lot of people sketch in a journal and then they use Procreate, so they'll scan it into their computer and use Procreate. So I wanted to keep it at 8.5 by 11 for that. But I wanted to make some that are kind of masculine because, you know, I wanted something on my table if you know, of a masculine sketchbook. And I actually need to make one of these for Lane. But I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I kind of feel like I should put something on the front, but then maybe I should leave it plain. And I don't absolutely love, I just used a regular plain sheet of tissue here to cover up some of the yellow, but I'm really having mixed emotions. So I've only sewn 2 of these together. And then my hubby I was like, I just handed him one last night. I was like, can you hold this and tell me what you think? He's like, my only nitpicky thing is that you didn't trim these edges straight. And I was like, well, I didn't trim them straight because I wanted it every page to be 8.5 by 11. So then, I don't know. I've only made 2 of them. Maybe I need to do different covers. But I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with those. I have one more of these. I'm kind of feeling like what I should do with those is just, I'm not going to add a pocket to this one. I kind of like it just like this. This is another one of the writing journals. Okay, I'm going to cover this up though. And then I'm going to cover, I had put lining in that, but I like this other option better. This is a really cool paper pad. I don't know if they still have it. It was probably just, I don't go to Joann's often. It's been in the last year that I got this, but it is a really cool one. So maps, text, and ledgers. It's a good one. All right. Denise, I like collage too. In fact, I did collage for a while, and I entered one of my pieces in an art show in Dallas, and it did really well. It was like a competitive art show, and it was so surprising because, well, it was wild, just like me. It was all about a day in the life of a sumo wrestler is what the collage piece was about, and it had 3 panels, and it was like it was morning, midday, and night, and it was about I studied sumo wrestlers to do it, so I studied about the daily routines of sumo wrestlers, and then I collaged the piece to reflect it. But in the training, I have the sumo wrestler like on like the earth, and he's practicing and like sparring with Santa Claus. So yeah, you know, like I studied about them, but then I still kept it very artistic. Bye, April. Time for church. Good, 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 good. I love that you're going to church. Enjoy. Hope you get a good message today. I'm almost done here. You won't be missing much. And hopefully gaining so much more. All right. Just making sure I can get that flat in there. All right. But yeah, so a sumo wrestler eats an insane amount of calories every day. Holy cow, those guys, it's amazing how much food they have to consume to keep up those physiques. some more glue on it. Things don't glue to Mod Podge very easily once it's dried, I've noticed. You gotta get a little excessive. There we go, nice clean edge. All right, let's wrap some twine around this. If there's anything else, you guys, let's pick a, okay, so I think this wine colored burgundy one would be really nice. I'm just basing that off the front cover. There we go. It'll be pretty with that inside too. That'll be nice. If there's anything else y'all want to chat about, I hope you enjoyed the process today. I really just wanted to give you the overview of how I made these. I was telling my hubby last night, like, I think 5 people have reached out to me since I started these live series this past week and said, I made my first junk journal. And, you know, that just delights me so much that you guys are trying this and giving it a shot. You know, it can be anything you want it to be, and it's just another way to use our supplies. And I do think they make wonderful gifts, and you know that they're just fun. They're just a whole lot of fun. Another way to play with our paper. Okay, this book is all about like trees and nature. Let me look through it to kind of get an idea about what we might want to put on the cover. It's really just like a lot of leaves. Trees, flowers. Oh yeah, and I want to cover that up too. And look how freeing it is. Like, I don't know, for me, you just really can't make a mistake with a junk journal. It can, just because anything and everything can be used. There, we covered that up, and that's fine with me. I kind of even just like the cover like it is, but I think I will add buttons. I'm gonna snip, oh, you know what? I don't think I've glued this one. I haven't. Let me glue it. I do have some card making I need to do. I want to do. So this week, you know, about to hit December, so there's going to be a sheet load of cards coming up. Woohoo! I love sheet load of cards. I love Alicia and what she contributes to our hobby, making those sheet loads. And I have a custom hand-painted sympathy card that I made for a friend, and I recorded most of the process, so that's coming up this week. And then, to be honest, that might be about it, unless I jump on live. Mary, my goodness, you don't have to do that. Thank you so much. You got the happy mail. Yay. Hey, Rhonda. I'm so glad it arrived to you. You only had to wait 22 months. That's what I feel like. Y'all know we call it snail mail. Well, I kind of take it to the extreme sometimes. But honestly, I also like my mom to make things sometimes for me. And so I do have to wait for her to be able to do that. Which we were talking about that on the drive back yesterday. And I was asking her if she thought, because she's getting arthritis in her hands, and I asked her if she thought she was going to have to stop crocheting, and she said no, the doctor told me it's good for me. And I was so delighted to hear that. I was so happy for her that she keeps getting to do her hobby and what she enjoys. Oh, Mary, by the way, my family, my hubby, they got pizza yesterday. I was out of town, but they even got me cheesy bread, which is what I like. And so we got pizza. Thank you. That was sweet. Okay, I like these burgundies and grays. I like it kind of moody, matching this ribbon. This really is, I'm live again. Hey there, WJ. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I like how moody these are. So some of the reference photos that I was driving, and now I didn't drive and take pictures. I would pull over, I would circle back around yesterday, but when I was taking those reference photos, part of it was because one of my favorite things in paintings is when people paint in the light. You know what I mean? Like they paint in, if it's somebody sitting by a campfire, they paint in the reflection of the campfire on the person's face, or light coming through trees and things of that nature. So some of the pictures I took yesterday had to do with that, and I was like, I want to try to paint with like fog and light. So that's why I took those reference photos yesterday. Yeah, no, they were made by my mom. She loves to crochet, and so I had her make me a bundle of those to share out. You always note everything so well when you send me a package, Rhonda, and I don't do that. I'm sorry. I'm just a wild mess, y'all. All right. Ooh, I like this. I like this very much. So we're going to keep it. It's a keeper. So I'm going to trim that, and then I'm going to trim this one because this one's not going to have any charms hanging down, or beads, buttons, whatever you call these things. Ooh, but aren't those cool? I like that. It's those little things, those final little touches that you can put on something. Okay, so we finished this one, you guys. We finished this one. Where are the others? I'm like, I know we finished another one. There it is. And this one, which also has fun buttons from my collection. So those are the journals. I've got, let's see, I think I'll actually have about 20 or 25 for my fair, which was the plan. That was the goal. So I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. Oh, cool. Painting online workshop. I am not qualified. So I am such an amateur. I have no formal training. I've just been painting since I was young, but it's all just wild. But I was talking earlier, Debbie, about how I'm kind of, there's a lot of things I want to do in 2022. And definitely, like, I will be exploring a lot of that on my channel, but it's like we'll be beginners together. Nice. Oh, sorry I interrupted your tech research, but I love that you're doing that. You and Elizabeth are so techy. It's so cool. Experience does count, doesn't it? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I want, you know, everything on my table just to, it is handmade, but I want each thing to feel special on its own, and I want somebody to have a calling to something, like, like whether it be the owl or the fox or just this plain thing with the charms. Like, I just want someone to feel called to something on my table, like it was made for them. And I do believe that. So, just with this final thought before I let you guys go, you guys send me things, and I'm like, all I can say is like, God was working through you when you sent me a box, when you sent me a card, when you've done things. It's like, wow, I don't know if we even realize, but sometimes we're being led by spirit. And I just feel like every time something comes, it's like a blessing. And I can feel how connected we are. And it's so cool. And I feel that in such a genuine way. And I love that. And I try to inject that in my art too. I think that's one of the things, if we stay in the flow of what we're creating and we don't get too heady about things that, you know, like if I got too heady about this pocket that was bothering me, the blue one, like with every little thing, like just go with the flow because, you know, I believe, anyways, it's just my belief that we're spirit and guided. At least I hope that I am. And that if I'm just in my flow, then that allows the spirit to come into the things that I make and touch other people in their lives. So that's just one of my goals. Beginners together. Yes, we'll be beginners together. And I like the idea of it a lot. I will, Debbie. We'll have to talk about it. Um, I'm still very much in the uh, idea phase, gathering ideas, but I'm nowhere near execution. Thank you, Mary, and thanks for your super chat. You are so sweet. You do not have to do that. I appreciate it and I'm grateful, but you do not have to do that. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out for me with me today. I hope y'all enjoyed the process and all the things we covered. I hope it helps you and enables you maybe to get into your supplies and use them differently. And I hope you guys have such a wonderful day. I appreciate all of y'all so much. It's the beginning of a new week. I hope you each find a blessing in your week. And I will see you, who knows when, next time, sometime soon. Thank you guys for everything. I enjoyed hanging out with you. These lives are kind of addictive because I get to talk to you and I don't just have to talk to a camera. All right, guys, be blessed. I'll see you next time. Bye.